as Jackie said, oh, thank you. All right, we're recording, you guys. So as Jackie said, I used to be the productivity coach over here, and it was just recently that I stepped down to do my own coaching. And in the process of being a productivity coach, I learned so much about what it is that agents want to learn in order to do successful business. So I've been with KW for 18 years, and I've basically been a faculty member the whole time, and then off and on the ALC. And I just won top team in my office for September and August. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. Now, the way that I like to teach classes is if you could show yourself, I would appreciate that, because then I get a little bit more interaction with you. However, if you want to stay behind the camera, I totally understand that too. And as a matter of fact, I've been sick all week, and today I was like, whatever you get is what you get, guys. All right, so I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about Ignite Elementals for seller appointments. And let's see how I do this. I'm not used to sharing full screen on Zoom. So all right, can everybody see that? I'm going to assume yes. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so seller appointments. We have heard so often that listings are king, that this is a really important skill for you to learn, to really embrace, and to master. So, when you become focused on what it is that you need to do in order to build your business, like in growing your business, we make seller presentations and get listings, that's going to be key to your success and to your wealth building. Thank you so much, Haley. Okay, so if I seem like I'm skipping around a little bit, like I said, it's only because I've been sick all week, but I promise you'll get to learn something from me today. In the process of the class, what we're going to talk about is what sellers want. And if you guys go to, I believe it's page 5, it's in your book. Does everybody have a copy of their book or their handout? Okay. If you go to page 5, it's going to tell you what sellers want. Oh, great. Thank you. First of all, how sellers found their agent. One of the ways that most people find their agent is by referral. And that's what this black 39% copy of the pie graph says, right? It comes by referral. And then the second half, or the second one, is 27% that they've used you previously, right? So what is that? That's 66% of people will find you through knowing you or knowing somebody who knows you. So what is that telling us? That's telling us that your database is key to connecting with the sellers who are looking for an agent to help them sell their home, right? All the other ways, that's great. And, if you want to focus on how to meet sellers that way, that's really good. But here is 66% of clients, of sellers, will find you through your database. Now, what do sellers want? And you could see here that most sellers want you to help them market their home, right? So if you really know and you remember these particular items of what a seller wants, it's going to help you in the conversation when you meet with them. So a seller wants you to help market their home, to sell their home in a specific time frame. You know, right now our market is so busy and so active that, you know, most homes will sell, you know, if it's priced right and somebody goes in with a preemptive offer, you know, they could sell it in 3 days, but typically it's like 7 days, right? You put it on the market, there's an open house weekend, offers are reviewed, and then it goes into contract. So 7 days is pretty fast, right? I haven't seen many, but the time is coming because they're starting to become a little bit more common, but some properties are on the market, you know, 21 days and maybe even going to 30. They want you to price their home competitively, and that's where it's really good for you to know what the market is, know what your comps are, and you can be able to tell them why homes sold the way that they did and why you want to sell their home for a particular price. They want you to help them fix up the home for sale. And then most importantly, they want you to help find a buyer, right? And so if you can really understand and know how you can help sellers with this list, then you're going to be amazing in your listing presentation. So what you want to do in the process to getting a listing is you want to have your pre-listing questionnaire. So the pre-listing questionnaire, it's just that you ask any questions that will help you to determine what their motivation is, what level that their property is at, and you know, how they want to communicate, what's their basic style of communication, right? Those are things that are important to know when you first start to talk to somebody and see, can I help you, right? The next step is to schedule the listing appointment. And once you schedule that listing appointment, you want to send them a pre-listing packet. Now, there is not a specific pre-listing packet in Command, but you can send certain things ahead of time before you get there. My recommendation is that you go ahead and you send your bio and something about Keller Williams, and then you can even send like their property profile. Those things will help them to know who you are, who Keller Williams is, and get to know what their house is. You know, the property profile shows when they purchased it, what their history is on it, what their mortgage history is on it, that they already know, but it also shows what the square footage is, how many rooms, how many bedrooms, and how old the house is, and then how the title is held. So it also gives information about the neighborhood and who their neighbors are and how much they bought their house for. So, you know, I find that when I send that information to my potential clients or my potential sellers, that they find it interesting because it gives them something to look at and to understand before I even get there to speak in front of them. So they've got a little bit of information about me, and then I'm preparing the listing presentation. And there's a copy of the listing presentation. Actually, there's a few copies in Command, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that. And then when you get to the listing presentation, you're also going to do a walkthrough of their home, and you're going to talk about, you know, how you can help them to sell their home. So before the appointment, right? Before the appointment, it's really important to determine exactly what the motivation is for the seller. You know, what is it that they want? You already know, but it's nice for you to kind of like, you know, pick one or two of those questions to ask them so that you get an idea of how quickly they need to move. All right. So the pre-listing goals. You know, here it is. Number one is state your value. So when you sent over your bio, that's going to help to state your value. That's going to help them to understand who you are, what you bring to the table, what you find is important. And, since I'm going to assume that the majority of people that are taking this class is still relatively new in the business, so less than 3 years. And I'm going to assume also that, you're still learning what your value is and what you can bring to the sales process. And as you're learning and as you're creating that, that's something that you could share within your bio, right? Now, if you're brand new and you haven't done any business yet, you talk about the market center, you talk about the agents that you're mentoring with, you talk about what, how much business the market center has had. If it's not you personally, talk about, our market center has 100 listings in San Jose, for the month of October. And we have closed, 100% at over asking, you could talk about those kind of things, right? Now, pre-selling, the pre-selling is, it helps to let the sellers build some confidence in working with you. And it allows them to, answer the questions that you're asking, right? And then it helps you to save time. You can answer objections up front. The most common objection that I am really appreciative and I can answer up front is, do you discount? Or do you give money back, right? And the answer is no. If you're looking for an agent to discount on the commission, can I ask you what it is that you're looking for? It gives me an opportunity to dig deeper. And if they're really just trying to save money, then I let them know that what I bring to the table is experience and a skill set for negotiation and marketing. And I'm going to be able to help them make more money so that they don't need to worry about how much money they're paying me in commission, because I'm going to make them a lot of money in the sale of the home. So, I don't know about you, but I've definitely met people who are like, well, I'm not going to pay less than, I'm not going to pay more than 4% commission. Then it's like, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I do not make less. I do not, what is it that I would say if somebody said I won't pay more than 4%? I would say, well, then it's not going to work, because I definitely charge more than 4%. And I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for the opportunity. And then just hang up and it's a no and move on, right? So all that was a phone call. And it was easy to go ahead and answer that objection up front. So the pre-listing packet, I've already told you what I thought that it should be. Something about you, something about the market center, and then the property profile. Does anybody have any questions so far? Is the pace that I'm going okay? All right, I want to go ahead and talk about the listing presentation. Now, the listing presentation is really important because it gives your potential client the opportunity to see your marketing skills. And marketing is very key when you're selling their home. Now, the marketing skills that you're showing is how you market yourself, right? Your listing presentation is your marketing of yourself. So you want that to look really nice, and you want it to look professional. You want it to be as detailed as possible without wasting words, right? Like, be succinct in whatever it is that you're writing. For example, for your bio, try to be as succinct and, share as much about the wonderful things about yourself. Now, if you're new to real estate, you've obviously had career before joining Keller Williams, then what was it in that particular career that you could bring into real estate, right? If you were successful in, customer service, or you were successful in project management, those skills are things that you bring into real estate. So just because you have maybe 1 year experience in real estate, don't negate the fact that you've got 15 years of project management under your belt. Because really, I used to do, and this was just for a little while, I used to do video production, and it was so much fun. And I was talking to a friend of mine about going into real estate, years later. And I was like, what do you think I could bring in from video production that I could use in my bio? Because, I was trying to use everything that I knew. And she was like, Edith, all the world, everything is a production, right? And when you think about it, it is. You put a house on the market, you're producing an event, right? You're producing the sale of a home, and what's included in that, there is the marketing, the premiere, there's the launch, everything, right? So whatever it is that you've done before, know that you're probably going to use that skill. So make sure that you include that in what it is that you want to say about yourself. So the reason why I say that is you want the seller to have as much confidence in you as possible. Also, the seller wants to know how much you think they're going to sell their home for. Now, there are two schools of thought. You can ask them, how much do you want to sell your home for? How much do you think your home is worth? Or let me go ahead and share with you what I think your home is worth, right? And so, you guys, we're in elementals 4 now. You've gone through the whole ignite, the spark part, and now you're into putting what you've learned into practice. And so what you're going to do is you're going to do a comparable market analysis, right? A CMA. And you're going to choose the homes that are comparable to the listing that you want. And you want to put that information into a little report, and you want to include that report in your listing presentation. Because remember, one of the things that the seller wants to know is, how would you price their home, right? And so that's really, really key. And then lastly, it's like, how are you going to market their home, right? They want to know, all of these agents, they can put the home on the MLS, and it'll propagate out into all the other websites online, Zillow and Trulia and KW LS, and then all the others, right? They want to know, well, what are you going to do above and beyond that? So what are you going to do to market their home? Are you going to, are you going to prepare their home to make sure that it looks as beautiful as possible? So what does that mean, to make it look as beautiful as possible? I always tell my clients that I want their home to be the belle of the ball. I want them to be the one that everybody wants on their dance card, right? To be just so beautiful that on the open house weekend, everybody has to come see it. They just want to look at a home that is ready to move into. Luckily, my sellers, the majority of my sellers have wanted, to fix up their homes. So I talk about that. First of all, we want to prepare your home for market. And what does that involve? At the very minimum, for people who don't want to spend a lot of money, we want to freshen up the home, right? So we want to paint it. We want to, update the flooring. If there's carpet, put in new carpet, put in new paint on the inside and the outside. That's just going to freshen everything up for sure. You have the professional cleaning, the windows are clean, just nice and clean and fresh. That's like the bare minimum that I ask my clients to do. Then we can talk about, well, if you want to upgrade the kitchen, or you want to upgrade the bathroom, you want to update the windows, make sure there's a new roof, you could do as much as you want. And right now, Keller Offers has the Ready to Sell program. I don't know if any of you guys have participated in that. One of my real estate clients, he has done 2 transactions with the Ready to Sell program, and he's had great success with it. So, you know, that's going all the way to having the seller, you know, borrow money at no interest to get the whole house fixed up as possible, to having your own contractors who could do updates as needed, to just paint and carpet and cleaning, right? Then we also talk about, like, you know, the photography, the professional photography, the videos. Are you going to do any marketing online? Are you going to do Facebook ads? Are you going to do any print ads, you know, things like that, right? Let's see, Robbie says, what if they're on a shoestring budget or reluctant to provide free staging, cleaning? Sorry. What if they're on a shoestring budget or reluctant to freshen up their home in preparation? All right. If they're like totally on a shoestring budget and they cannot even afford to do painting, then I mean, painting on the inside, either they do it or you could have your contractor do it. I don't know if your contractor would take payment outside of, you know, at the close of escrow, you know, create relationships with your contractors to see if maybe you could do that. But then they can paint themselves. For sure, you want to have it professionally cleaned, right? And that includes the windows, everything is scrubbed really clean, and for sure carpet cleaning. Because, you know, when we live in our home and our sellers live in their home, you know, we're used to the smells that we have in our home, right? Like, you know, sometimes my house will smell like, you know, the food that I've cooked that day, if I've really got things boiling or frying or whatever. And those odors just tend to stay into the carpet and into the paint. So if they're on a shoestring budget, do what you can to help them out up front. But for sure, cleaning is like the minimum thing that I would do. And if your clients are in, you know, dire need, like they have to sell the house because they can't afford it, they're having a difficult time in life, then, you know, maybe you can make the investment of doing a proper house cleaning for them. Because, you know, you're definitely going to, you know, share in the rewards of having a really nice home on the market, right? I hope that answered your question, Robbie. Harish, what do you do when seller asks when other agents provide free staging, cleaning to the seller? Well, you know, that depends, right? If you're doing a 6%, if you're going to do 6% commission, then, you know, you could provide free staging and you could do the cleaning. You know, it really depends on what you want to do. So there are a lot of agents who will do staging. And, you know, just like I had talked about in the earlier question, you know, your investment that you do into selling the home, you will reap the rewards because you will receive a commission. You will be able to have your clients happy and talk about you. So this is what you do, right? If you want to do the staging for your particular client, or you want to pay for the cleaning, you need to let them know that this is not something that you normally do. So when they refer you to their family and friends, to not mention the fact that you paid for that for them, because you're doing this as a special gift to them, because you understand that they're not able to do it themselves, and you just cannot allow them to miss out on the additional income that they will receive by staging the property. And that all you ask in return is that they recommend you, they refer you to family and friends, and that they don't tell them that you did the staging. So you kind of have a little bit of an in, you're in cahoots with the seller. And then you're also reminding them when they're happy and grateful and, really relieved that you're their agent, that you're asking them to refer you to their family and friends. So, if that's something that you want to do, if you really don't want to do the staging, if they really can't do it, then don't do it and be willing to move on. So, things to consider, because, this is your business, right? This is your business. You get to do it how you want. But remember, you're putting yourself out there. And once you do it with one, they like to brag. Well, my seller, my listing agent paid for my staging, right? So you got to make sure that they understand that you don't want to be known as the agent that pays for staging, because you already do such a fabulous job. You don't feel that that's your role. But then if you want to, you can. I know that I've had a client who, I was going to help them buy their home too. And so the combination of the buy and the sell was, at the time it was like $2.5 million. The commission on that, I was okay. I was okay with paying for the staging, but I did tell them, don't tell anybody, right? And they didn't. And they did refer more people to me because they felt that I really heard them and I had their best interest at heart. So, it's really a matter of listen to your heart, listen to your gut, and see what it is that you want to do. Did that help, Harish?
I think so, but at the same time, when I see so many brochures come with different agents with a lot of free things, especially staging and as virtual staging, which we can do, but the staging and all, and they provide also, similar percentage of, commission. So I'm a new agent, so if I have to do something like that, and if I have to provide them the free staging and all that, that will be additional cost, and I still have to work with some co-agent to get going. So
Oh, I see. That's right. You still have to pay your 50% commission, right? So, yeah. So with that, okay. So that's a really good question. And at this point, right, you have to look at what is your investment do for you. So, for sure, sharing your commission with your mentor agent, that should feel really good, right? Because what you're doing is you're paying to learn from your partner agent. Like, when you do a listing presentation, and if they're with you, learn everything you can from them about what they do in a presentation, learn everything you can from them about how they prepare the house for market, learn everything you can, because that's what your commission is paying for, right? So ask questions, ask them to explain things, ask them to show things. So number one, that percentage of your commission, that's the same as, paying for your education in real estate, and you're learning it firsthand, right? Then, the commission or the cost of like staging, that's like roughly $2,500 if you're going to stage a living room, a master bedroom, a dining room, bathrooms, and a kitchen, right? Like that's around 2,500. And so the remaining commission that you get, even after you're split, if you're brand new, it's what, 70-30. So that $200 you're going to get, no, I'm just kidding, right? It feels like it though, right? At the very end, it's like, this is all I got was $4,000. That $4,000, that's kind of like sweet money, right? Because really you got to get your name out there on a listing. You got to market yourself by having a listing. You got the experience of having a listing. And if you're smart, you want to use that listing to market yourself and show evidence of success so that you can get another listing, right? It might, you have to really look and see, is it worth it to you? Because your first 3 transactions, those are really key. That's what you have to share with your mentor, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So your first 3 transactions, you really got to just look at them as, yeah, this is what I'm willing to do for a successful career in real estate, right? I mean, just remember, don't look at the short picture, right? Don't look at just the fact that, oh, I've got to give out 50%. I got to do this. I got to do that. All the money that goes out. I'm not diminishing that because it is a lot of money and it feels like it's a big investment and money's always going out. But remember, you can be a millionaire real estate agent if you apply all the tools and systems that are available to you. So those 3, that is your part of your education in becoming a top producing agent, that mindset shift could be
Mhm.
worth millions of dollars to you over the course of your career.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
It is, right? It's really hard. And so, that's why you want to look at the long game. And that's why you want to always remain on top of your big why. Like, why are you doing real? Oh, can I coach you?
No,
Yes, no,
no.
no. Okay, no worries. So
No.
I hope that answered your question then,
But
right?
the
It's a
thing is
matter of
that
what you want to do.
the problem is that we are, as a new agent, I'm competing with the seasoned agents in the area because all these agents can provide lots of free things to, the sellers. So going into that and, breaking them from the, seasoned sellers to coming to me, it's very hard because I'm the brand new agent.
Mhm.
What can I offer more so that they don't go away from me? Because I had the experience that one of my best friend wanted to sell his home, but this was the very first question: are you going to provide me the staging free? So I was not able to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
kind of
I don't necessarily know if that's a best friend who's asking you to pay for his staging.
well, anyway, it's a friend or doesn't matter any other seller, the
Mhm.
same thing, right?
Right. Right. But seriously, look at that, right? This is your friend. Our friends want us to succeed. Our friends aren't trying to take money out of our pocket.
Well, they are also there to, sell their home with the highest price with the best seller in the, best selling agent in
Mhm.
the area.
Right.
So they
Right.
definitely will choose with where they can, find the most, things from them. So that's obvious, right? Even a friend or someone else.
Right. Right. I mean, people, there are people who are always going to want to get as much as they can, right? Like if you're going to give free staging, then, they're going to want it, right? But I just want to just say, if somebody's claiming to be your friend and they're asking you to pay for their staging, then, you may want to tell them, that's something that I don't normally pay for. That's something for the sellers because, this is an investment in the sale of your property. You get to write that off as a sales expense, right? For me, that's taking commission from me. And I just prefer not to do that.
Mhm.
This is the thing, Harish, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
You know, you could look at all of these people who who are going to work with seasoned agents. And speaking as a seasoned agent, why not? I've earned that opportunity to get business with these clients, right? I've gone through having to pay for free staging. I've gone through having to pay my mentor. I've gone through the hours of prospecting and creating like that perfect postcard to send out on core fact, right? I mean, I've earned it as a seasoned agent. So, you can't deny that, the seasoned agents have earned it. But that does not mean that you cannot get that business. You have to earn it too, right? And
Mhm.
so what you got to do is you got to really make sure that you're dialed in on what your value is to your sellers. And then it's always, if you do not want to pay for staging and you do not want to work with that client, you get to say no. That's an option. When we meet at the listing appointment, the options for our potential seller is always, you're going to want to hire me, right? And that's going to be great, and we'll work together. We're both going to want to work together, and that's going to be ideal. Or I may not want to hire you, right? As my client. You get the opportunity, and there's so much power in saying no, because if you say no, you're opening up the opportunity for a yes to come in. Because the more you know who you are and what you want and why you're doing it, the more you're able to see real, true opportunity arrive, right?
Mhm.
So it's really a matter of taking ownership of what it is that you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So still on the listing presentation, right? And so on the listing presentation, now I want to see by a show of hands, how many of you have a listing presentation already? Okay, it looks like nobody. All right. Now, do you guys have any questions on what I've talked about so far? Because I know I kind of went off on a tangent. Any questions?
Nope, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so I am going to go into command. So no questions so far. Okay, I'm going into command. Oh, here we go. Yes, so if you want to follow along with me, I'm going into command. Sorry. Seeing these pictures. Okay, I'm going to go into technology. So how many of you guys, so go to mykw.kw.com. Can you guys do that? If you want to go along with me. And then we're going to go into technology. Select command. Oh my God, sorry. This is taking me to connect. Okay, so now here I am in command. And I'm going to click on the red KW so that it tells me where it is, the names of these icons, right? So I'm going to go into designs. And I'm looking for listings. And I'm telling you, oh God, all right. Let me go. I'm telling you that I don't have my listing presentation in command. I have an old listing presentation. Okay, I'm going to go into templates. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go into listings. Go into listing presentations. And then you'll see here are samples of some of the listing presentations. So this listing presentation template I'm going to use. Now, how many of you guys have your professional photos already taken? Raise your hand. Okay, Megan has yours. Oh yeah, it's very pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you guys. Oh, Pearl, wonderful. That's good. You know what, Pearl, you're going to want to put it on your Zoom so that, you know, you get to show that. All right, you guys. So make sure that you get your professional photo. Like you can see here, I have my professional photo, right? And when you do your listing presentation, you know, part of you being, sorry, I am like, what is going on here? Okay. Part of you doing your listing presentation is that, you know, this is how you present your marketing to potential sellers. So for sure, you want to have a really nice listing presentation, right? So this is a presentation that you can edit and you can make it as nice as you want. So this picture here, like, you know, if you guys could see, this is a picture of, you know, I'm assuming a mom with 2 kids at a dining table. That just shows you a little slice of life, right? And this is the listing presentation template. So if we wanted to, let's see. Like this will tell you, you know, how to do the listing presentation, right? So now here is your first page of the listing presentation. And so you can do Edith and Joe, right? Oh, I'll do Edith Roberts, okay? And then a picture could be another picture that I've got from my images. Oh, but I don't have any there. Let me see if I have any in elements. Let's say I'm going to use, well, forget it. You want to put in, you know, you could use this picture or use another one. And then like, you know, here is the professional photo. So, you know, I'm going to put mine in there and then update, you know, my contact info and then put in, can you guys see that it has like download my app, right? Like this is your marketing right here, right? Do you guys see that? Does that make sense? And then you just go on to, you know, the pages and you fill out like your pictures, what it is that you want, and you make it look as nice as possible. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret about your listing presentation. It's important to put down all of the information that you can. And it's important to print it out in nice stock paper, in color. And it's important to bind it in a really nice professional way, because your sellers are going to be receiving other listing presentations from other companies. Even if they don't, just assume that they will. And there's some pretty nice ones out there. There's some that are like, bound in a book. There's some that, I don't know, look like the cover is, like the photo of their house is on the cover, whatever, right? It's like there's going to be some really nice ones out there, but you want to make sure that you do yours as nice as possible. So when you're, so I'm not going to go into how to edit, but this is where you can find it. Does that help a little bit, you guys?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, you guys. All right. So, let me go back to, oh, I don't know how I did it, but I lost my PowerPoint. So give me a second here to there we go. Okay. See, this is grace under pressure.
No worries.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. So the listing presentation, you guys know where to find it. You know that it's in command. You know you got to go under listing presentation, and you know you want to present yourself in your best way possible. So if you have not taken a professional photo to use for your profile picture, at the bare minimum, your profile picture, then make an appointment today. Do you guys have like a preferred photographer in your office, Jackie? That you refer people to?
Locke, I believe his last name is Tran. Locke Tran is in the office all the time, and he has a setup for photos.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing Locke's information, right
Okay.
here in the chat for everybody? And, how much does he charge?
Actually, when he didn't charge anything when you first get there with the office, they take your picture.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So that's like the headshot. So everybody has a professional headshot to start off with.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful class. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, good, you guys. So now you know about that. Any questions on creating that listing presentation?
Can we add pictures of the property that were like the property of the seller?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Roma. You can, what I like to do is I like to go and take a picture like straight on, like it would be like the MLS photo of their house, and put that as the cover picture.
Okay, so we can't get it like straight from the MLS into command?
Well, it won't be on the MLS yet, right?
Oh,
Because you're
right,
going on the
right.
listing presentation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Good question.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, good. Are you guys liking what we're talking about? Is this good stuff we're talking about?
You can
Yes.
put the
Yeah.
comparison also.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. All right, good. Comparison. Well, yeah, your CMA, your market
Yes.
analysis.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's going to go in there as well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's going to go into your listing presentation. Now, there is a page in there called Your Needs Come First. And so this one is really cool, right? And this is what it looks like. You know, visualize your dream scenario for selling your home, right? Like, what's the one thing that has to happen to make that dream scenario a reality? It gives them questions so that they can think about what is that answer, right? So it's like, you know, when you're doing your listing presentation and you're talking about, you know, how, you know, you're talking about, well, let me just say this before we go to the next part. So in your listing presentation, this is probably one of the last pages. Your needs come first, visualize your dream scenario, and these questions. So Harish, I'd like you to read one of the questions out loud, please.
Why is this page essential?
Great. And so when we look at the page, your needs come first, there's 5 questions on the side, right? Can you read one question?
What is the one thing that has to happen to make the dream scenario a reality?
Wonderful. That's a really good question. Pearl, what's another one?
Oh gosh, I was typing in Locktron's address.
Oh God, okay. Yeah,
apologize.
yeah. You want me to ask somebody else?
What would you please ask what's the question again?
Yeah, I just want you to read one of the questions that are here on this page. Your needs come first.
Okay.
Just read like the second question.
Okay, okay, I just typed in that the second question. Why is this page essential? Is that what you're saying?
No, this on the other
Sorry.
side.
I okay. I was getting his information together for you guys.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I shouldn't have asked you. I shouldn't have, you know.
Okay, so you're ask one more time, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So on this page, like this slide is actually 2 pages, right? And so the one that's with the picture of the mom and the child, there are 5 questions underneath to visualize your dream scenario for selling your home. And then these are the questions that we want to ask the seller. And it's going to be probably the second to the last or the last page in your book, right? In your listing presentation. So read one of the questions. The first one's already been read.
Okay, I could pick the one I want
Yeah.
or okay, let's see. I think, why is this important to you?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's
Because
good.
that's initially that's why they're moving, right?
Right. That's, you're going to find their motivation on that one. That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
Roma, what's yours?
Okay, so how can I make that happen for you, right?
I
Has that
love
one
it.
been read?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
I love it. That's really good. Megan, what's another one?
If we could add just one more thing to make this process even better, what would it be?
Wonderful. I love it. Thank you. And Rich, what's the last one? Oh, got it. Okay. Miko, are you there?
How can I make that happen for you?
Wonderful. I love it. Right. Thank you so much. So what we're doing is we're just like making sure that the sellers, they know that we want to know what their answer is. And we know that their answers are important. Right. All right. So what we want to do then is we want to do present the listing presentation. Now, this is really important, okay? And I don't know if they've got it written anywhere in this, but when you're there meeting face to face with the sellers and you're going to present your listing presentation, the main thing to remember is that this is a conversation with somebody who wants to sell their house, and they want to know why you're the one that should sell it for them. They want to know why they should hire you to sell their biggest asset, to help them accomplish their goal of changing their life. And can they trust that you are going to do what they want, that you know what you're doing, and you're going to help them achieve this goal, right? So they don't want you to sit there across from them and go page by page of a listing presentation, because we all know what that's like when we're in a class and the teacher goes page by page when we can see it ourselves. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Right. So what you want to do is you want to have this listing presentation all put together, and you're going to have it there with you, but you're not going to really address it while you're talking to them. So when you're talking to them, you want to talk to them about what it is that you could do to help them sell their home. So one thing that I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get scripts. Now, have you guys done any scripts?
Some.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do, let's see, let me stop sharing so you guys don't see all of my pages. It's like, oh, you guys want to learn about chakra sharing? Let's see, what have I got here? I want to get, you know, in preparing for you guys, of course, things closed down, and where is my file that I had already? Okay. Do you guys have a copy of the Ignite Elemental script book?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I
Okay.
don't. Yeah.
Oh, you don't? Okay. So Jackie, do you mind finding that and then you can share that with them? Do you have that? Oh, Vilma, thank you so much for your kind words. All right. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to share this script with you. And this is the, you know, I don't know if you guys do practice, if you practice role playing with scripts, but it's really key to building a successful business, right? Now, you know, there's a state of mind where people are like, I don't want to learn scripts. You know, that sounds fake. I want to be real. I want to be authentic. I want to be myself. Well, what you want to really do is you want to learn the scripts, and you want to know why you want to learn the scripts, because then you'll know what you're talking about. Can you guys see the scripts or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So, you know, at first it's uncomfortable when you do scripts. You want to, you know, really learn the words. And, you know, when I was doing productivity coaching, we had script role playing every day. And I loved getting the phone calls from my clients, my real estate clients, my realtor clients, and they would say, Ida, you know, I hated doing scripts every day, but I did a listing presentation and the seller asked me this, and I knew exactly what to say because of the script. There's nothing more exciting than having confidence and knowing what to say. You can even have a smile when you're saying it because you know you've been practicing it over and over and over again. And the beauty about really understanding and knowing and embracing these scripts is when it's your opportunity and your turn to talk about it, you're already going to know what it is and you'll be able to put it into your own words. So here we have scripts for working with sellers, and we have best practices in communication, right? So one, you want to ask lots of questions when you're there with the seller, because remember, you want to sell their home. This is about them. This is about their goals, how much money they're going to make, how they're going to achieve their life goals. We are helping people to manifest the beautiful life that they want through the sale and purchase of real estate, right? So make sure you understand who they are, what they want, and why they want it. Ask lots of questions. So if you're asking lots of questions, then you're listening more than you talk, right? You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen more than you talk. Allow equal time for both parties if the sellers are a couple. You know, we have all met those people where in a couple, one person will speak more than the other, but you don't know what their couple dynamics are. So you do not want to focus more on one client, on one person in the couple than the other until you know, or they give you direction on who it is that's the decision maker, right? You want to make sure that you speak to both of them. Now, as a woman, I have learned that, you know, I can speak to the man, but for sure, I make sure that I understand what the woman wants. All right. So now for a man, you might want to make sure you do the same thing. You can speak to the woman and understand, but make sure the man feels like he's getting equal respect and attention too. Because, you know, people are weird, right? You're just going in as a realtor to try to help them sell their house, but they may look at you like, oh, well, you know, this woman, all she was doing was talking to my husband. And it's like, I'm sorry, he's the one who was asking most of the questions. So you be aware of what role you play, and you always give equal attention. All right.
Good. It's good.
Yeah, it's a good one. Affirm their responses. So you want to say, great, that's wonderful. Yes, I agree. You know, but you know what, like in the conversation, remember, they want to know who you are. And if they can trust you, if they can trust that, you know, you could sell their house, if they can trust that, you know, what they want and you're going to get them what they want. And if they can trust that you know what you're doing and that you're willing to listen to them, then you don't have to do like anything that's fake. If they say something, you could have a natural response like, Pearl, that's good, right? It's like you just go ahead and you say what you naturally would. Like for me, I usually say something like, I know, right? Like that's just me. That's just what I do. So, okay. So then don't assume that they know something, that they understand what you've told them, or they're done expressing their opinion, right? Don't assume. You know, there's that old adage, assuming, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Well, you know, we don't want to make an ass out of you and me. Assuming is not a good thing. So get clarification, right? Seek first to understand. That's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. So once you understand, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? Is there anything that you need clarification on? Did I make that, like, you know, did I explain that properly? You know, like even for me, I've been sick all week. I haven't really had an opportunity to review everything. So I like to know, do you guys like what it is that I'm saying? Does it make sense? Do you understand? Are you learning? Because my goal here is not just to present the information, but it's to help you actually learn how talking to sellers, how communicating with them and the listing presentation is so key to the success of your whole career, right? So it's like when you look at this listing presentation, yeah, this is a listing presentation. I want to make sure it looks really good, but seller, what do you want? Seller, what do you need? Why are you moving? How fast do you need to go? If I were to get you an offer before the offer date, would you accept it? Right? Like just seek first to understand. Don't assume they know everything. And then sometimes people, they feel uncomfortable asking a question. So, let them know there's no wrong questions, right? There's no wrong questions, and that you're happy to repeat it again. Because, if you can help them to understand and they feel like you listen to them, oh my God, what a great relationship you're going to have.
Mm.
So here's the listing presentation, right? Now, I'm going to have somebody give a role play. On this first one, I'm going to just show you how it's done, right? So we're going to review the listing packet. And you say, okay, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get your home sold. Now, NLP, one key thing is when you are saying a statement like get your home sold, let me help you, that last word, bring it down, right? Like, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get your home sold, instead of thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get your home sold, right? Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get your home sold. See, when you have it down, then it's like anchoring it in. And what a nice word to anchor in, sold, right? Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get your home sold. So then you review the pre-listing packet that you left with the seller. Ask, did you get a chance to review the guide to selling your home I sent you? That's what they call the pre-listing packet. If the answer is yes, great. And did you complete the questionnaire at the back? Do you have any questions about anything that was presented? If the answer is no, well, let's review the packet quickly before we move on. There are some questions at the end for you to answer. Okay, so those are easy things to say. And if you're truly engaged in the conversation and you're not nervous about remembering exactly what to say, you will know that, oh, did you review it? Wonderful. Did you have any questions? And if the answer is no, I didn't review it, then you'll be like, okay, well, let's look at the questions, right? So know what it is. If you know what the script is, then it's easy for you, all right? So deliver a 10 plus experience. I'd like somebody to read that for me. Who wants to read it? Robbie?
Yeah, but the 10 plus experience. Okay. I'd like for you to have a great experience selling your home. What begins with me being very clear on what your expectations are. So I'd like to ask you about that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm at work in the middle of something. So.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Let's see.
Okay, so we'll ask each question and allow plenty of time for them to answer and write their answers in your packet. Allow equal time for both parties if the sellers are a couple.
Thank you for your honesty. Knowing how to deliver a 10 plus experience helps me serve you in the best possible way.
Wonderful. Thank you, Robbie.
No problem.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you still came to the class even though you're working.
Yeah, it's all right. I have time.
Okay, good, good. I love it. All right. So now, Erica, I'd like you to read Why Me?
Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about the team and the company I work with, Keller Williams, and why you've made a great decision to talk to me about selling your home. Quickly cover the selling points about KW, #1 in the world, #1 training company, best mobile property search app, and accessing hundreds of real estate websites globally. And then you go by asking, do you have any questions?
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, number one in the world, number one training company. That's us. Whoop, whoop. All right, who likes to talk? Because this one has several. Pearl.
Oh,
I know what you could do. You could do the first two and I'll get somebody else to do the last three.
okay. Let's see. Help sellers see their listings through the eyes of buyers. The location and condition of the home is the first things that will attract buyers and their agents. You can't change location, but you can change the condition of your home. So it's appealing as possible. Yeah, we need to read this over and over so we don't sound like robots, huh?
Exactly. Like every day you should practice it with somebody. Choose a script partner.
Buyers are attracted or distracted immediately by the condition of the home. That's true. From
Mhm.
the curb to every room in the house to the backyard, it all matters.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Megan, let's read the last three.
Okay. Buyers rank condition as one of the top 3 things they consider when choosing a home. Most want a move-in ready, model-like home. Buyers are trying to see themselves in any property they visit. They are trying to imagine a wonderful life inside your house. So our goal is to help them by preparing the house so that nothing distracts them from being able to do this. This means a great curb appeal, a clean interior with as few repairs needed as possible. After all, daydreams don't often come with hammers. As a few reminders as possible that someone else is living here, and that includes not being here during showings. Once we agree to work together, I'll advise you on how to properly prepare your home with staging to accomplish this. Does that sound good?
Wonderful. So these are like so key, aren't they? I actually want more people to read this. So I'm going to say Manushi, is that how you say it? Manushi? Are you the?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here.
great. Yeah, can you read the first three, please?
Yeah, sure. The location and condition of the home are the first things that attract buyers and their agents. You can't change the location, but you can change the condition of your home so that it's as appealing as possible. Buyers are attracted or distracted immediately by the condition of the home. From the curb appeal to every room in the house to the backyard, it all matters. Buyers rank condition as one of the top 3 things they consider when choosing a home. Most want a move-in ready model-like home.
Wonderful, thank you. Al, can you read the last 2 paragraphs, please? Al, are you still muted?
Buyers are trying to see themselves in any property they visit. They are trying to imagine wonderful life inside your house. So our goal is to help them by preparing the house so that nothing distracts them from being able to do this. This means great curb appeal, a clean interior. Wait, didn't she already read that?
Yeah, we're going again.
Okay.
Yeah.
A clean interior with a few repair needed as possible. After all, daydreaming don't often come with hammer. And as a few reminders as possible that someone else is living here, and that include not being here doing showing. Once we agree to work together, I'll advise you on how to properly prepare your home with staging to accomplish this. Does that sound good?
Wonderful, thank you. These here, like helping the sellers to see their home through the eyes of the buyer, is so key in your listing presentation, because sellers are so used to their home the way that it is, they don't see things anymore, right? Like they don't see the, the paint that's not, they don't see like, the scratches on the wall from, the kids bouncing up or kicking a ball on it, or, accidentally having a backpack go against the wall, right? They don't see that. They don't see the crack in the tile. So when we talk to them about how buyers see it, it's really powerful because it shows that the psychology of the buyer, your craft, that you are selling their home to buyers, and this is what buyers want. I think this is so important. I would like to have 2 more people read it again. So who wants to read the first 3? Gurjeet. Nope. All right. Harish.
The location and condition of the home are the first things that attract buyers and their agents. You can't change the location, but you can change the condition of your home so that it's as appealing as possible. Buyers are attracted or distracted immediately by the condition of the home, from the curb appeal to every room in the house to the backyard, and it all matters. Buyers rank condition as one of the top 3 things they consider when choosing a home. Most want a move-in ready model-like home.
Wonderful. Thank you. Rich, have I had you read anything yet? Robbie, did I do Robbie?
I'll go again. No worries.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Buyers
Oh,
are trying
that's
to see
right.
them. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, Rich's microphone's not working. I forgot. Thank you. Okay, please, Robbie, go ahead.
Sure. Buyers are trying to see themselves in a property they visit. They're trying to imagine a wonderful life inside your house. So our goal is to help them by preparing the house so that nothing distracts them from being able to do this. This means a great curb appeal, a clean interior, with as few repairs as possible. After all, daydreams don't come with hammers, and with as few reminders as possible that someone else is living here. So that includes not being here during showings. Once we work together, I'll advise you on how to properly prepare your home with staging accomplishes. Does that sound good?
Awesome. Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. And I do love, thank you for the nice compliment, Rich. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Is everybody else enjoying it too?
Yes.
Okay, good. Awesome. I love to hear that, right? Because it's like, this is, so important, right? Okay, and one of the questions that was asked, if Jackie doesn't have the script, I'll email the script to Jackie and then she can email the script out to everybody. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so now, let's see, let me make sure that I've got this. Okay. All right, we're going to do signing the listing agreement. Okay. So who wants to read this one? Is that you, Pearl?
Oh, I was just reading it out loud.
Yeah, go ahead. You read this one.
Okay. Signing the listing agreement. We're in agreement. We're in agreement about the price, and it sounds like your questions have been addressed. Okay, let me see, ask options. Based on everything we discussed, I feel like we have, oh gosh, I feel
Yeah,
like
we have the makings.
we have the makings of a win-win relationship. Would you agree? We are ready to move ahead Are we ready to move ahead on this? Is there anything we need to do before we get started? Would you like me to handle the sale of your home? Are you ready to decide to choose me to represent you in the sale of your home? If yes, hand the seller your listing agreement and a nice pen and ask them to sign. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. If no, what is preventing you from moving forward? Do you have any additional questions for me?
I love it, right? These are great. You know, one of my favorites is, you know, well, would you like me to handle the sale of your home? Because I know that they're hiring me, right? I talk about Keller Williams, I talk about the market, but I'm the one who's going to handle selling their home. So that's usually the one that I use for my closing. Would you like me to handle the sale of your home? And I love that they've included in here, have a nice pen. Have two nice pens, give one to each of them and say, if you'll just sign here, then we'll be in, you know, if you just sign here, that would be great. And we'll be in contract and I'm your listing agent. And make it like exciting when you do it, okay? Signing the listing agreement. Is there anyone else who'd like to try these closing questions, these closing sentences? If so, go ahead and unmute yourself. Everybody else feels really confident with that? Okay, sounds good. All right, so now we want to discuss pricing with sellers. So this script is price to sell, right? And so let's see, Megan, can you do this one, please? Price to sell.
Okay. So you're probably interested in what your home is worth, right? Well, the price of your home is determined by the market. That is what buyers are actually offering and competing sellers are accepting based on recently sold properties. The market fluctuates from state to state, city to city, and even neighborhood to neighborhood. Depending on the number of homes for sale at any given time, the market will either favor the buyer or the seller. In the last 6 months, the highest sales price for a similar home in the neighborhood was $900,000, and the lowest sale price was $800,000. Odds are your home will sell for a value somewhere in between. Where in this range would you like to list your home?
Wonderful, I love it. All right, Manushi, determining the list price.
The most important decision you will make is where you will price your property. Pricing your home at fair market value will attract more buyers. Attracting more buyers normally results in a higher purchase price. Overpricing your home results in a longer market time and possibly a lower price. Would you like to price your property to sell quickly? Or will you price your property where it will take longer to sell? The choice is yours. What would you like to do?
Like it, thank you. All right, let's see. I want to make sure that everyone, Erica, are you there? Okay, can you do comparative properties, please?
Yes. Well, in the parentheses, it says prepare in advance several comparable properties, similar size, location, and amenities that sold recently. Include this information in the listing presentation and go over it carefully with the sellers. Edith, the truth is buyers are very smart and informed about the market, especially those who have been looking for a while. They have been looking online at property websites and will know what similar homes in your neighborhood are listed for. And buyers are always looking for a great home at the right price. I have done some in-depth research and analysis looking at comparable properties that have sold recently and to look at how they are and look at how long they take to sell. and how much competition there is on the market. So let's take a look at the comparable properties I've included here, and we'll be able to determine the value of your home. Okay?
I love it. I like the way that you did emphasize your home. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, closing the deal. Who have I not picked on? I mean, asked and would like to talk? What? There's nobody here that wants to do it? Okay. After
I
studying.
can read the first couple of paragraphs. That's fine.
Awesome. Thank you, Robbie.
Sure. After studying the comparables, taking into account the unique characteristics of your home and its setting, and using my knowledge, the averages in your neighborhood, I've prepared my recommendation. Remember that my primary goal is to net you the most money possible, and I believe that this pricing plan matched with my marketing plan will draw agents and buyers to your home and position it as a highly appealing and highly competitive property.
I would love for you to read the rest if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, no problem. I'm a little bit winded. I'm actually kind of, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all no worries.
okay, thanks.
Write in the average sales price for the area and the price per square foot. Then write your recommended price range for their home along with the price per square foot. For example, the average $250,000 at $100 a square foot. Recommended $245,000 to $255,000 and 98 to 102 square feet, respectively. After looking at everything I presented about condition and price, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with this price recommendation? Is it what you'd like to list your home for? Are you ready to make a decision to work with me?
Yes.
If yes, great. That sounds like we've got a price and ready to put a sign in the yard. Let's do this and get your house sold.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so
All right,
much.
I didn't. I deviated a little bit. Just kind of rolled off a little bit different, but
No,
think
it's great, right? And you make it sound very natural. Yeah, and that's what we
Well,
want, right? That's what
that's
we
the
want.
point.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Pearl, we're going to talk about seller objections because, you know, sellers always have that, right? So go ahead and do seller objection number 1. We need an agent with more experience. Pearl, are you there?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, great.
I was on mute. Okay, I'm a partner. Okay, wait. I'm a partner with others in my office.
Wait. Yeah, so you want to say Keller Williams, Silicon City, right? The market
Yes.
center name is different. Say it loud and say it proud.
Wait, we need an agent with more experience.
Yeah, see in parentheses how it says market center name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so KW Silicon City is different, right? That's your first line.
Yes.
Okay.
Keller Williams, Silicon City in San Jose is different. I'm a partner with others. I'm a partner with others in my office. So I have lots of motivated agents and many years of experience working for you. Is there anything another agent said that would do that for you oh my gosh, do that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Let's see. Yeah. Is there anything another agent said that they would do that for some reason? I forgot to mention, did I cover everything you expected to hear? Sounds like you believe I can get your home sold. Jesus. So let's move ahead now. Wow. Sorry, guys.
No, yeah, that's okay. But so, you know, what that just goes to show is, you know, we're reading these and we hear you, and these are really good scripts. So,
Yeah.
you know, for you to kind of stumble over it, right, it shows us that we would stumble over it too. So, I love that you stumbled a little bit because these are so important and there's easy ways to say it. But once you just get it down in the script, then it just comes out really, really naturally. And then the sellers are so thrilled, right? So thank you.
It's kind of like a song. You're learning a song on the radio and you hear it over and over and you just start singing it,
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we all have scripts throughout our life. Like when my children were little and growing up, I would wake them up every morning, good morning, right? And so, whenever they come to visit me and they wake, in the morning, they sing that to me. That's just my script, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, we have scripts, dinner's ready, someone's on the phone. I can't take your call right now. Please leave a message. These are all scripts, right? So knowing these, it's easy. All right, good. Thank you, Pearl. All right. Is Erica there?
Yes.
Wonderful. Can you do seller objection number 2, please? We need to
Okay.
think it over.
I hear you saying you want to be confident. If you were 100% confident in me, you wouldn't bring this up. If you knew I was going to do everything possible, you would sign. The truth is, you can never know that. Let's sign the agreement and know what you can cancel with me at any time you're not satisfied.
That's great, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Al, you're the one who's at work, right? But can you say objection number 3? Another agent will charge you less?
I can appreciate that there's someone who will work for less, but your agent negotiation for you, if they can't negotiate with you about their own money, how likely will they be to fight for your money when the buyer make a low offer?
Pretty good, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, it's like, hey, if I just go ahead and accept you saying, I want a discount and I say, okay, how am I going to negotiate for your money, right? I mean, if I can't negotiate for my money, how am I going to negotiate for yours? Seller objection number 4, Harish.
Why won't you reduce your commission? That's the question. Let's say your boss came to you and said, I want you to do the same job for less pay and you will have to work harder. Would you be motivated? No. Well, that's like me. I will work hard for you. That's what you want, isn't it? You want the most money possible, right? Agents who discount their commission will offer the buyer's agent less money too. You want to give the biggest incentive possible to the buyer's agent so they bring buyers to us, don't you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, like we've all seen that, right? We've all seen where, it's like the commission of 2% to the buyer's agent. Yeah, I kind of shy away from those. I mean, I feel a little bit bad saying that, but come on, it also gives me an idea of, well, you must not be very good at negotiations. So I'm going to try to come in and negotiate for my clients then, right? If I have to do 2%. All right, pricing objections. Jenny, can you do objection number 1? We need a certain amount from this sale to buy our next home.
Oh, hi. I was
Hi.
muted. Sorry.
No problem.
So, would you, as a buyer, pay what the seller wants because that's the price the seller needs? No, you pay what's worth it, right? That's what your buyer will do too.
Right. Right. It's like, yeah, I can understand you need to have this amount of money, but we got to see what the buyer's willing to pay. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Jenny.
Oh,
Manushi, can you do objection number 2, option number 1?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Can we price a little higher and come down later? Okay. Here's what frightens me about pricing higher. People who have seen many houses will find yours, but they won't look at it because of the price. We don't want to drive buyers away. We want to attract buyers. We want them to make offers. Does that make sense?
Awesome. And can you do option 2, please?
The greatest number of showings comes in the first 3 weeks. If buyers see the house is overpriced, they walk away and we don't get them back. Let's get one or more people to make an offer right away. If more than one likes your price, they might even compete and drive it higher. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. All right, and objection number 3, let's go with Erica, did I have you do one already?
Yes, I can do it.
Thanks.
How can we be sure the price you're recommending is the right price? Real estate is a market-driven commodity like stocks. If you have ever bought a stock, how do you know what it's worth? When you sell a stock, although you know what you paid for it, the market doesn't care. Like that, the market says what your home is worth. Why would a buyer pay more than the market says it's worth?
Wonderful. Thank you. Right? Why would a buyer say that? Why would they pay more for them? Why would they pay more than what it's worth? All right, staging objections. Objection number 1, I don't see why this is so important. If we want to sell faster or for more money than your competing sellers, then we need to stand out in terms of condition. Objection number 2, do we really have to make this repair? Pearl.
We can sell it just the way it is, but it's likely to take longer and we probably won't get as much money. My recommendation is to have it repaired so that we can get the best price possible in the shortest amount of time. The choice is yours. What would you like to do? Make the repair or take longer to sell?
I like that. Make the repair or take longer to sell.
Right.
Harish, objection number 3. Why can't we sell the house as is?
Would you prefer to pay a few $100 to paint a room? Or do you prefer to deduct $500 to $1,000 from the sale price? Since buyer use the outstanding repairs to negotiate a lower price, it's usually in your best interest to make repairs rather than have to negotiate with the buyer.
I think that's wonderful that this was the one that you read. Right?
Right.
Absolutely. I love it. All right. So then you see that here's the 1 scripts for working with buyers, right? Thank you so much. Now, I hope you guys don't mind that I was just calling you guys out. I like when, everybody in the class can go ahead and participate. It's good. I think it's good. All right. I want to share the screen again. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, let me get it here. Thank you, Harish. Okay, so we've already gone through handle seller objections. We're here. This is the listing appointment. We've already gone through, how to close the deal, right? we go through the home walkthrough, and it's interesting. I usually like to go through the home walkthrough before we sit down to talk about the listing, right? One of the things that's really nice when you go through the home walkthrough is, you get to the home and they're going to welcome you in. And what you want to do is you want to sit at the kitchen table, right? The kitchen table, they probably sit at every single day. And that's where they feel comfortable. It's almost like being at a conference table. So there's a level of professionalism that's already built in. They feel comfortable, and then they also feel like you're a guest in their home when you're at the kitchen table. You don't want to sit in the living room because, trying to maneuver your papers, trying to talk comfortably, with the person next to you, and then wherever the other one is, it kind of feels a little awkward. You're not as confident because you're trying to make sure that, you still look good and respectful while you're sitting there in their living room talking to them. You don't really want them to get too comfortable by, sitting in the reclining chair. So, first is the kitchen table. The second would be the dining room table. And then the third would, if you have to, would be in the living room, right? And, even though the dining room table is still a table, the kitchen table tends to be where they have comfort. And so that would be good. Ask to put your stuff down. And if they offer you something to drink like water, then, accept it because you are a guest in their home. And it makes them feel good to be able to welcome you into their home. And then ask, can I see your home? And, we're going to change the wording from home to house during this conversation. We use the word home, especially when we're working with buyers, because they are looking for a piece of property to create and build their home. They're going to be getting married, getting in the honeymoon phase. They're going to fall in love with their home. Now, the sellers need to separate emotionally from their home. So we're going to start using the word house. This is going to be a house. They're going to emotionally divorce from the home, and this is a house. Once they put it on the market and they're preparing it for sale, they are no longer the owners. They are now the sellers of the house. Does anybody have any questions about this? It's very slight, but the psychology is very powerful. And if you use it correctly, they won't even know it's occurring, but you're helping them emotionally to divorce from the being attached to this home.
Makes perfect sense.
Wonderful. I'm glad you like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you. It's important, right? Because, it's really hard when you have a seller that wants to sell a home, but they don't have their new home that they're going to yet, right? Because of the way that everything is, we want our sellers to have we want them to at least be in contract before they write another offer. And ideally, we want all contingencies removed, because if we want to go into another offer with no contingencies, at least we've got that trail going, right? The domino effect is already in place. So because we need to sell the house first, we need to make sure that they go into it knowing it's just a house. And you can even tell them, right? When you're going through, when you sit down, they bring you water and you say, I'd really like to be able to go through the house. Excuse me, just one moment. Today is escrow is closing and the buyer's agent. Oh. Anyway, I can answer that question later. I thought they couldn't get in. The seller, you're going to come in, you're going to put your stuff down. And then, while they're getting you water, you tell them, I'd really like to walk through your home. right? And, ideally, we'd like to do it by ourselves, but most people don't feel comfortable with you walking by yourself. So if you could let them know, the reason I want to walk through your home is I want to look at it from the eyes of a buyer. Okay. And so as I look through it from the eyes of the buyer, if you could just stand back and not speak while I just take everything in, then you can tell me later everything that you want me to know about your house. But for now, I just want to walk through. Does that sound good? Would you please show me through the house? And then allow them to show you. So, start in the living room if you can. Living room, family room, dining room, kitchen. Look at it, look at the condition. Now, remember, your role is to help them sell their house, but they're still attached to it. So do not go in and say, well, we need to paint this and this floor needs to be repaired. And that is, oh my God, this bathroom. When was the last time you updated it? We got to update these lights. Like, we can look at a house and we can go in and say, we need to do this, 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 and this. But our poor sellers are like, wait a minute, right? What are you talking about? So just go in and say, okay, you've looked at the house and you're like, okay, tell me, what it is that you think it's important for me to know about your house before we put it on the market. And just start, boom, from the get-go, before we put it on the market, what should I know before I start to market to others? What should I know when I talk to my contractors about, fixing things? What do you think is important for me to know before we put it on the market? The sellers are going to say, well, we upgraded the bathrooms in 1989, the kitchen, we know that we should put in new appliances, but, we figured that the new buyers will do this and that. And it's like, okay, so let them go ahead and tell you everything about it. And then you go ahead, when you do your listing presentation, you talk about the psychology of the buyers and them, wanting to imagine living in the home and, whatever that home looks like, even though nobody lives the way a home looks when it's on the market, the buyers, they're in dreamland. They're falling in love. They're infatuated. Yeah, their living room will not have any piece of clutter because it's going to look just like the staging, right? Like, go ahead and talk to the buyers the sellers about the buyer mentality during your listing presentation, because you already know what the sellers have to say.
Sorry to cut you off, but does that help, like when you're kind of giving them a picture of a buyer's mentality? Can you kind of work it into where, well, at some point they're probably going to be buyers as well, and kind of makes them more knowledgeable of what to expect when they're in the buying market?
Oh, absolutely, right? Especially if they're going to be buyers as well. You could definitely talk to them, and even say, one of the advantages that you have of being a buyer and looking for the home that you want, you can imagine now what people are going to be looking at, what the buyers are going to be looking at when they look at your home, right? So, my role is to make your home as beautiful as possible so that we can get the highest amount of money in the shortest amount of time. That phrase right there, my friends, very key. So we can get you the highest amount of money in the shortest amount of time. That's what people want. That's what sellers want. And if you say it, they're going to love it because they're going to know that you understand what they're looking for. We want to get you the highest amount of money in the shortest amount of time.
Well,
yes, Robbie, yes.
Yes. Hi, this is Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Yeah. So when you say that, what if the seller says like, how will you, bring highest money in the shortest time?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to achieve that?
Right. Okay. So, you've gone through the home, right? And you've already gone through the listing presentation. While you're in your listing presentation, and you say the highest amount of money in the shortest amount of time, and the sellers are like, well, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. My role as your listing agent is to make your home so desirable that there are a lot of people who are going to want to look at it. They're going to want to look at it with their agent, which we know those are already motivated and pre-approved buyers, or they're going to want to come to the open house and look at it in person. My job is to get your home in front of as many buyers as possible. So that's why I want to make sure that it looks beautiful. That's why I want to make sure that we've got professional photos. That's why I want to make sure that we do a virtual tour, that we've scheduled an open house, and that I market to as many agents as possible. And through my marketing channels, I can market to every agent that has sold in this zip code in the last year, right? So if I'm going to get your home in front of as many people as possible, that increases our odds of having buyers fall in love with it. And if we price aggressively, meaning we price on the lower end of the scale, then we're going to have more people interested in making an offer. And if we get into a multiple offer situation, then emotion comes into play. And people are going to compete against each other, and they're going to write the best offer possible so that they can buy your home. So number one, presenting it in an ideal way so that it's attractive to the buyer. Number two, making sure as many buyers see it as possible, have the opportunity to see it online with their agent or at an open house. And then number three, to make sure that they have an opportunity to make an offer when they're ready. So if we get into a multiple offer situation, then they're competing against each other, and that's naturally going to increase the sales price. And that's how I'm going to get you as much money as possible. Once they come in with their sales price, then I know what everybody's willing to offer initially. And then I'm going to go back, and then we're going to see, it depends. It could be just the top 3 that are close. It could be the top 5. We don't know how many people are going to make an offer, but normally the top 3, we will go back and we will counter and let each one of them know this is the new sales price if you want this house, right? And it kind of works that way.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Now, when people say, well, my house isn't ready, what do you think we need to do to sell it? You can say, there's one thing that I know about your home is that, there's a lot of love in this home. You could tell that you've lived in it, you've enjoyed it, but we can also tell that you've outgrown it. And that's why we're going to buy you a new home and sell this one, right? So if we want to make this as beautiful as possible, then let's bring everything up to a certain level. Part of selling your home is having all the disclosures available so that when somebody looks at your home, they're interested in buying it. And see, I should be saying house by now. Sorry about that. When someone sees your house and they're interested in buying it, they're going to download a disclosure package. And this disclosure package, it gives all the information that you personally as the seller know about the home. There's going to be a property inspection and a termite inspection done by certified inspectors, and they're going to give their determination on the condition of the home. And we will have all of the information available. So when a buyer is interested, they're going to know everything about your house. They're going to know if there's, termites. They're going to know if there's a plumbing leak, all of that stuff. So when the inspector comes to look at everything, my inspectors are pretty anal. I make sure that no other inspector comes in after them and finds anything that they didn't. So I ask my inspectors to be as thorough as possible. And sometimes the sellers are like, I can't believe that they brought up this. right? I can't believe that, they're talking about this, or, it's so like, there's so much. I didn't think my house was in such bad condition. And it's like, I'm telling you this now. So when you see the reports, the inspector is going to go through everything. So they're not saying, oh, Bobby and Sue McGee, you guys are terrible homeowners and this is the condition of your house. No, they're saying, Bobby and Sue McGee, this is the condition of your house right now. If you want to make repairs, then you can make repairs. But, Johnny and Susie are going to see what the condition of the house is, so they know how to make an offer. So it doesn't matter what the condition is. It doesn't matter, if this is updated or not, or if it's repaired or not. What matters is that you've disclosed everything that you know, so that the buyer cannot come back and say, you didn't tell us about the leak in the bathroom, which then burst and caused this problem. And so now we're suing you. No, you want to say everything as much as you can. Now, the better condition the house, the more money you're going to make. So if we find that there's a leak under the toilet, well, then let's go ahead and repair that leak. If we find that there's water damage under the toilet because of that leak, then let's repair the water damage. When the buyer sees the inspection report, it says that, and they know that you've repaired it, in their mind, they're already thinking, okay, that's good. So we don't need to put any money towards it, because anything that we have that needs repair, the buyer is going to think costs much more than it does to repair. So knowing the condition of the house is very important. Fixing things up, you're going to get more money if things are fixed and don't need to be repaired. And then that's like the structural part. Now, if we go into the beauty of the house, we want to paint the house so that, I love this red wall that you have in here, and it really goes nicely with your furniture. But when we go on the market, we want this home to be as neutral as possible and remove any indication that you ever lived here. We want to make it a clean slate for the buyer to come in and imagine what it's like to live in this house. So we're going to paint the walls a neutral color, but it's going to be a pretty sexy color that the painter or the stager will recommend to us. Then we're going to make sure that the flooring looks fresh or new or whatever. If you've ever wanted to put in wood laminate, this is the time. If you just want to put in carpeting, then we need to put in clean carpeting, right? If you want to redo the hardwood floor, we can. If we don't do anything to the flooring but clean the carpet, then that's all we can do, then that's what we'll do. However, believe me, the buyer is going to see, I need to put in new carpet, and they're going to deduct that from the price that they want to purchase the house for. So the best presentation of your home is going to give you the highest sales price. And making sure that we put it out there on the market and we market it to everybody in the beautiful way, then we'll get it as quickly as possible. So, so that's how we can get you the highest possible price in the shortest amount of time. Any questions? I'm asking you guys. Anybody have any questions on that?
Oh, that's good.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, good. Okay. Oops. Sorry.
And then here, maybe you later on you will cover it. So they'll ask like what separate you from other listing agents. We're interviewed. You probably will
Okay.
cover it later, right?
Yeah,
Just
actually, no, I don't have that, but I'm happy to, share that with you, right?
Great.
Okay, cool. I love that. Like, why are you better to work with? Okay, let me just make sure that I did get everything that we wanted. I pushed the wrong button and it's like, oh no, you guys don't need to see that. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. I think we've already done the part about closing the deal, right? When we did through the, when we went through the scripts, we talked about closing the deal. Do you guys remember that? Like, are you
Yes.
ready to sign here? Are you ready to have me, be your agent, right? So we've already gone through closing the deal.
Right.
Now we can talk about the recap and the ahas. And so now I can answer Jenny's question.
Sorry, I
Right?
missed the
Yeah, no
the previous
problem.
part.
All
Sorry
right.
about that.
Yeah, no, this is good, right? I mean, that's why, Hilda asked me to be here because I could answer these kind of questions.
Yeah.
All right, so why is it better to work with me than any other agent? Okay, let's see. I'm going to think about, each seller is an individual person, right? It's an individual couple. And, you have, like, let's say, Jenny, why you want to hire me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, the way that I work closely with my sellers is I get to understand who you are, what you want to accomplish, and why you want to accomplish it. So once I know what your goals are with selling this house and buying a new home, and I know that I can help you with that, then I am going to bring me to the table. Now, what does that look like? What is Edith? How is Edith going to help you sell your home? What do I have to offer? Well, for one, I believe that working with your listing agent is it's an intimate relationship. I believe that you need to trust the person that you're working with. And in that trust, that covers the fact that you know and believe that I have the experience and the ability to sell your home for the highest amount possible in the shortest amount of time. I believe that it's important for you to trust me, that you could talk to me about your concerns, your requests, anything that comes up, and that I will be able to discuss with you what it is that you want to communicate. Our communication is very important. So you need to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with the communication. And like I said, it's an intimate relationship. Selling your house is not just putting your house on the market and selling it. It's emotionally separating from this being the home that you've lived in for so many years, and knowing that it is an emotional separation, that I can actually help you go through that and understand how to educate you on something that you need to do, but emotionally you may not be ready. So trusting that I'm the person to help you with that, that's going to be good. Now, as far as my ability to help sell your house, I love real estate. And what is it about real estate that I love? I love helping people get to the next goal in their life. And by selling you this house and buying a new home, you are going towards achieving the goal of living the life that you want. And that excites me. And I want to help you do that. So my experience of selling so many homes over the last 18 years, or my experience of being in this market center with all of these amazing agents that sell homes, and my desire to sell your home, that is something that is immeasurable. You just need to know that I can help you do it. Now, I know the contracts, I know how to negotiate, I know how to prepare your home for sale, and I know how to communicate with you. So just those things right there are why I think that you should hire me to work with you. Did that answer your question?
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
You've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
that's great.
So there is you have a script. for this kind
Oh,
of
totally. I do, right? I do. I don't have it written down, but I've said
Yeah.
it so many times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing really is, I want to work with those who want to work with me.
Mhm.
And, for me, the relationship, right? Because we hear Gary Keller say it all the time. Real estate is all about relationships until it's about real estate,
That's
right?
true.
Right?
Mhm.
Yes. So when we're working with these sellers, usually they already know us. That's why they've called us, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Yes. So, that's why I say your database is your gold mine. That database, like you should be working that database. And when I say working it, I mean, you should be nurturing those relationships. The holidays are coming up. Make sure every single person in your database receives a holiday notice from you. It could be an email, Christmas card or holiday card. It could be a card in an envelope handwritten to them personally. It could be a postcard sent from Corfac. It could be a message sent on Facebook Messenger or Instagram. Like, make sure everybody in your database hears from you in that way. And ideally, they also get a phone call,
Mm.
right? You want to nurture those relationships.
Mm.
Any
Oh,
other questions while you guys have me?
yeah. So, do you have any suggestion or scripts for like newer agent? Who just making presentation in front of the seller
Mhm.
because don't have that much of experience. So
Yeah.
how would you convince the seller to give the deal to you instead of other agents who have a lot of transactions?
Mhm. So,
What is
one of the things that I bring to the table as a brand new agent is, I've made the decision to change my life by changing my career. And,
Mhm.
you guys are considering selling your home, and that's how you're going to change your life. So, that this is not an easy decision to make. So, I didn't become a realtor just to say I'm a realtor. I really chose this career, to open my own business as a real estate agent because it's something that I have a desire to do and I'm driven to succeed. So even though I'm new at this, I bring to the table experience that I've earned throughout my whole entire working career. And then as far as real estate goes, I am partnered with a more experienced agent who is going to show me how to do real estate in a way that I find inspiring. So as far as getting the actual task of selling real estate done, my partner has all of those skills. But what I bring to the table is me, and I'm driven and I'm excited. And if you're my only client right now, you're going to have all of me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, I know how to sell. I know how to market. I know how to do this and that. And, I have the experience of, Edith Espinola is who I'm partnering with on this. And she's been doing this for 18 years and she is in the top 20% of our office. And, she wins awards all the time. So she knows what she's doing. And that's who I chose to be my mentor. That's who I'm learning from. So I have every confidence that I'll be able to do a great job for you.
Mm.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
There you go, right?
Sounds great. Yeah.
That's right. See, you got to remember, you
That-
weren't just born yesterday,
Yeah.
right? Everything
Mhm.
that you've done in your life brings you to this moment.
Yeah. So you have to kind of like show like you will bring the past experience to the table, right? And also
Yes.
you are dedicated to the seller because you bring 100% of you. And
Yes.
also you have help from your partner, right? And the
Oh,
teammates.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
teamwork.
absolutely. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
since, this is, your first listing is most likely going to come from your database. So they know
Mhm.
you haven't sold anything yet, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
when you just come and you be honest, I mean, that's so key,
Mhm.
right? You don't, they don't want you to say, oh, well, I know exactly what I'm doing. I mean, selling real estate's easy. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But my mentor, my business partner for this particular transaction, that's the person I chose to learn from, right?
Mhm.
This is not just something that I'm doing because I don't have anything else to do. I chose this career. So
Mhm.
I will bring my best to the table. And you being my first one, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
Love
other
it.
questions?
Thank
Good. I'm
you.
so glad, Jenny. Any other questions, guys?
Are
No?
you available after this for some brain picking or anything like that? How does that work?
Yeah, if we can set up a time for me to, do a quick phone call with you if you'd like. But if you've got any
At some
questions
point,
right
yeah.
now, Robbie, you should
I
ask.
do not. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
I
don't?
do not. I am in the middle of stuff, and I know your time is, your time is valuable as well and stuff, but
Yeah, you guys
just
got me for 13 more minutes.
okay. Well, I mean, just to kind of hit on what Jenny said, I mean, as new agents and stuff, there's a lot of stuff that it seems like, confidence plays a large part in this, and how you represent yourself in front of these people, and you got to make them comfortable, to work with you, and
Right.
sometimes actually I do have a question, so every so often when getting to know people, I often go on tangents or just start talking about myself a bit much and stuff, and I notice, sometimes people will open up some, and they will dive into deeper conversations. Is there a line that you don't cross, or a way to kind of keep the conversation from going a little too personal, or are there things that you just kind of don't want to kind of display or go into with clients
Do you have an
or
example?
potential? Well, I mean, just like, say, oh, well, you have kids, I have kids, and this is great and stuff, and then, they go off and talk about, yeah, well, my daughter is going through this and this. And I'm like, well, I have a similar problem, my son is going through this and this and this. And, like, where do you draw the line for from telling, your business, that's a
Right.
little bit personal to you, or something that you hold close,
Right.
that is really not, you don't think people really should be all that privy to. I mean, is there like,
Right.
where is that line?
Right. So, one of the things that's really powerful, and, people feel they can trust you, right, is the ability to talk about things that are important to their heart. So, things like you're talking about, like children, right?
Sure.
This is very key. Anything that's super personal to you, that like could be heavy on your heart, super personal, that you just don't share with anybody, that is universal to humanity. The concern we have about the health of our children, super personal, but we may not talk about it to somebody in our office. That is something that they feel the same about their children. They want to have a healthy child. And if somebody has like a child that's going through, chemo, then if they talk about it and you have something similar to that, that bonds you.
So kind of like, I guess in a not so great way to say it, but you can use it as leverage.
Yeah, but be sincere.
Genuine. Yes, absolutely.
Right? Yeah, it's like, like you don't want to, well, number one, don't complain about your life. Right? Don't complain about anything bad about your life or about your business, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because nobody wants to talk to anyone negative, right?
Right.
But if they are saying like, yeah, my daughter's dating this boy and he's got tattoos and I'm not quite sure if I like him, you could say, when I was younger, the girls I dated, their dads probably thought that about me. And I turned out to be a nice guy.
Yeah, you're put a little positive spin on that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Because see, they're sharing with you something that they probably didn't intend to. So your response is going to be very key. So one, never judge anybody for anything. And that should always be what you do in every single conversation you have, starting today for the rest of your life. If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, Robbie, I think God, I was going to go really bad, but like, hey, Robbie, I just, I cheated on my girlfriend. And it's like, you might be like, God, that's terrible. You shouldn't do that, right? But instead, seek first to understand and just say, wow, that's pretty serious. You want to talk about it? See, you're not judging. A seller is like, yeah, the neighbors next door, blah, 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 blah. Right? They're telling the neighbor's secret. Right? If they're telling somebody's secret, you do not want to tell them yours.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Because people will show you who they are.
Yeah, that's totally funny because that's sometimes I find that a quality of mine to a fault, and I'll kind of I'll divulge I'll let people know a little bit too much than they would probably ask for, so I have to know where to draw the line, maybe stop the drinks at that point.
Yeah, for sure, Robbie. So who you are is amazing and powerful, and you're just stepping into this beautiful career that's going to allow you to step into the fullness of you. And you have so much about your life that makes you who you are, that you only share the good stuff. Do not open up and share everything, because people will judge you and they'll make the wrong decisions on something that you don't think may be a big deal, but others will judge. And until this whole world is judgment free, you got to only share what you're willing to have in the newspaper.
So true.
Okay.
Good words.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because you know what? You've got really good energy and you could be super successful. So I agree. Stop at that drink and don't talk anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Shoosh.
Right. Shoosh. Yeah. But seriously, you got the energy of a top producer. So you better tap into it.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm certainly going to give it a shot.
Good. Say, I am going to give it a shot.
Yeah, I am going to give it a shot.
There you go.
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, good. I like to hear
Thanks.
that. Who else has a question? Are you?
Oh man, I
right?
forgot. Other people were listening.
I know, right? Did anybody else have a question, or did I scare you guys away now? Seriously? No more questions? Pearl, what's your question?
No, I don't have one.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I'm listening.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah.
All right. So you guys chose to get into real estate because, this is a great opportunity to make money. And a lot of times in our culture, we are brought up, we've embraced, we believe that money and talking about being wealthy is a bad thing. Money is the root of all evil, or rich people are rude, or whatever lies we believed about money. It's not true. Money is good for the good that it does.
Yeah.
Right? We can make as much money as we want. We just have to be honest with ourselves and know that we want to be wealthy. Now, what you do with your wealth can change your life, can change your family's life, can change the world. But you want to come at it from the right perspective. Money is energy. That's all it is. It's energy. So energy will come back to you for the energy that you put out. Now, we are energy, and we're contained Well, our body, our physical body is contained in our energy. Our energy field is bigger than the body that we have, right? And so if you can imagine that your energy goes out and it gets filtered out into the oneness of the energy of the world, then know that your thoughts are powerful. You know, if you've seen The Secret or if you've heard lots of thought leaders, you know, thoughts become things. What you think about, you bring about. Now, if you want to have a successful business career in real estate, trust that you are here on purpose, that you made the decision to be a realtor on purpose. Trust that your instinct said, hey, I should be a realtor because there's a lot of good that I could do with this. Now, if you look at your role as a realtor as kind of your sacred work in this world, then you can really do a lot of good. What do we do in real estate? We help people to be able to accomplish their life goals through real estate, right? Like, let's say here's this young couple, they're getting married, they want to have children, you know, they both have really good careers. So, you know, in order to have these good careers, they probably had a really good education. So knowing that they want to have children, what can we do to help them? We could help them to find a home in a neighborhood that has really good schools, so that once their children start to grow up and attend these schools, then they get the education that the couple is looking for, right? So we know that we are helping them to achieve their life goals. So now we've helped them, life goes on, we've maintained contact through the years, we've nurtured our relationship, they're in a drip campaign, they hear from us, we call them, you know, the relationship is there. When they're ready to buy another home so that they can go to their next level in life, like let's say they got, you know, really good job promotions, and what they want to do is they want their kids to go to a certain high school so that they have a better chance at going to a certain college. You know, we can help them with that. We can help them figure out how to get into the home that meets their lifestyle, right? They're both working, they're both busy. We want them to be in a community where it's a really good school, where maybe these kids go to Harvard or go to Stanford or go to, you know, UC San Diego. The schools know, the high schools know what schools their graduates attend, right? So getting to know that kind of stuff, you can help them knowing what their lifestyle is like, you know, because they're in jobs where they are at a high level. Does that mean that they do, entertainment in the home? So then you can help them find a home that they can entertain from, right? Like they can have like a nice kitchen that faces out into the great room that opens out into the backyard, that has an outdoor kitchen, maybe a pool because the kids are at that age. Like you get to help people live their dreams. And if you remember that that's the role that you play in their life, that you help them live their dreams, live the life that they want to live the lifestyle that they want to live, then you will be powerful and you will receive a lot of happy clients. And in turn, they will refer their family and friends to you. So remember, you're not just buying or selling a house. It's not just this one listing and then you're done with them, or it's this one purchase and you're done with them. You are touching people's lives and the relationships that you built. You know, there's a reason why a lot of these amazing mega agents say, I'm your realtor for life. Real estate is all about relationships until it's about real estate. Your most important relationship is yourself, the relationship you have with you and your creator. But we can go into that another time, another class. The relationship you have with yourself, you have to believe in who you are. You have to believe that what you want is important. And you have to believe that what you bring to the table has value. And the money that you earn, the wealth that you build, it's based on the fact that you're worth it. Doesn't matter what anybody told you about money before. It doesn't matter what anybody told you, what's possible in real estate. What matters is what you believe about yourself and your desire to achieve it and to live the goal of living the life that you want to manifest. So if you want to manifest a beautiful life, remember, thoughts become things. I'm not asking you to think positive because I want you to be a Pollyanna and think, oh, everything's great, even though the world's falling down around you. I want you to look at this and go, hey, the world's falling down around me. I need to pay this bill. My car's breaking down. What is it that I need to do? And who knows, maybe you'll look at that and you'll be like, I haven't been taking my lead generation seriously. I've been taking real estate as if it was just something that I could do as a game, right? No, you want to look at this business, this career in real estate will help you to live a magnificent life. And so I want you to look at the positive in life. What you think about, you bring about. If you start to think about something negative, don't think about the negative. Think about how you can make it a positive, but be true, be real, and enjoy the life that you have and enjoy the help that you're giving others by being the realtor that you are and having the great life that you're meant to have. Money is a good thing. Money is good for the good that it does, and you are worth it. All right.
Wow. I love it. Can you share your contact information? Do you mind?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So my email is edithespinola@gmail.com.
Okay. So
And
your
my
first
phone
name, last
number,
name. Mhm.
I'm sorry?
Your first name, last name, there's no space,
Yeah,
anything.
no space
At
at Gmail.
gmail.com. Cool.
Mhm. And
Your-
my phone number is 408
Oh, cool.
569 5556.
Okay.
And I am a real estate coach. And
Oh.
I coach agents who have graduated from the mentorship program and
Mhm.
show that they are on track to become a top producer. I only coach serious agents.
Mm. Which office are you at?
I'm at the Los Gatos office.
Okay.
Yeah, Bay Area Estates.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so if you want, email or text me with your contact info, and then I'll keep you on my list for the next class that I teach.
Yes. Okay. Oh, do you have stuff like you? Do you have recommendations on books you are, you have been reading? I feel like you.
Well, for sure. Have you read The One Thing?
Huh?
The One Thing
The one
by
thing-
Gary Keller and Jay
Oh.
Papasan? That's a
Okay.
really good book.
Okay.
Okay. And then another book is Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say those are two good ones to start off with.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Jenny. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that Hilda invited me to come in and, teach this class. And if there's any last things you guys have as a question before you go. Let's see. Erica, you're so welcome. Harish. Oh, thank you so much, Harish, for that. So you guys have my contact info, edithespinola@gmail.com. And then my number is 408-569-5556. Contact me and we can set up a time to talk, or I'll make sure to add you to my mailing list.
Mhm.
Okay, great. All right, everybody, have a beautiful day.
You
And
too.
go out there and, sell. Your clients are looking for you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Edith.
Thank you so much, Edith.
You're welcome. Bye.
Have a
Thank
good day,
you.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.